This is the 79th SharQ Talk, I think. And we are back in a room that for some are familiar with because we recorded a podcast and 2 sessions already here in this place. But we did that today with you and my guard again.
Yeah.
To 2 songs. You will name Anna?
Yes, my name is Anna.
Anna. I still try to pronounce the A, but that's wrong.
I think
Anna.
it's the same in the Netherlands
Anna.
as well.
Yeah. It's
Anna,
the same.
Anna.
Yeah, but then you don't need to translate it. So then it's Anna.
Yeah,
so
it's universal name.
We just recorded 2 songs, and we came in contact by email because you're also a booker. So you're a stage performer and a live studio performer, recording studio artist.
Correct.
With upcoming album. So we're a lot of things to talk about. We do this in English because that's easier. You can speak a little bit Dutch.
Ja, ik kan een beetje Nederlands spreken, maar
we kunnen dat ook proberen.
Engels is beter. Dank je wel.
Nee, dat kunnen we ook doen, maar let's switch to English. Let's make it easier. So sometimes my pronouncements are wrong. I know people. I'm trying, but it's working this way, the best way. Yeah. Where shall we start? Let's
Music
start
business. Well, unfortunately, these 2 things relate so close, especially in the last months. If I'm talking about from the booker's perspective, this is all, the situation is really difficult. And of course, as an artist, we're struggling. So,
yeah. Let's not start there.
Yeah.
Let's go back a little bit because one day you started with music. When was that? When you was a small child, or?
Yes, since I was a small child, at the age of 6, I started to study music, classical music, and then I ended up in a conservatorium as a flutist. And until I was 19 years old, I was preparing to be a classical musician. And I already had a chance to continue my classical music studies as a flutist in Vienna. But by the time I already had my guard as my baby. So rock music, I had to choose between rock music and classical music. And I chose the first one. And until this point, I haven't been regretting it.
No, of course not, because then you have your own musicians and own pieces that you can play. And if you're in a classical, then most of the times you perform someone else's work.
Correct.
Of course. You say you play the flute. Flute. But you can mix that with metal or rock.
I can definitely do that. On all albums, I play some sections in flute, and this year I've had a chance to feature on Vivaldi Metal Project's new album. This is a huge collaboration with musicians like Mike Portnoy, and I'm the flutist on that album. So I'm so honored to be a part of a metal project as a classical flutist.
It's a great combination.
Yeah, definitely.
But you said you were playing that until you were 19, and in between, from somewhere you found it at my guard.
Yeah.
How did you came in contact from the orchestra kind of music, the classical music, into the rock and metal? Are there some bands that you're listening to specifically?
Yes, definitely. And you have to put the blame on my father,
okay.
who showed me the first Black Sabbath cassettes. And he had all the collection of Yes, Deep Purple, Uriah Heep. And he showed me these music. Of course, I was really into classical music, but as soon as he started to show me these musics, I just fell in love with the whole genre. And one day I was going home from school, and there stood my first Squier Precision bass guitar in my room with an amp. And that was his presence. So from that point, he was like, "Yeah, you better experiment with this music and with this instrument." So I joined my first band, which was a new metal tribute band. Like Korn, System of a Down, Limp Bizkit we were playing. So new metal had the biggest effect on my musical taste, considering rock music, and. I'm the biggest fan of Korn. So especially on the newest album of Am I God, Furia, you hear this inspiration in connection with the lyrics and the instrumentation. So Korn has had a huge effect on my musical taste.
But Korn is about late 90s, begin zeros, I think.
No, they're still really doing an amazing job. Yeah,
they released an album 2 years ago, last year, something like that.
When was it? Yes,
but more
1 year
like,
ago.
But more, it's like when you grew up and you were listening to Korn, that would be the 90s and zeros then.
How old I am then?
no, I'm not gonna ask that one. I can, but no, no. It's more like because your dad gave you classic rock. That we call it nowadays, of course, because it's more 60s and 70s sounds.
Yeah.
Korn is more like the 90s and zeros sounds. And somewhere in between, you pick everything up because you said you were listening to that. But when you get a bass from your dad, you start playing that. Korn is heavily bass thing, so that's great to play along, of course. Where does the flute fit in that storyline then?
I made it fit into it. I did. And my band members have been thinking it's a crazy idea to put just a little piece of flute into a really, really heavy riff. But I would consider it also like as a mark and as a really unique representation of what Am I God is. My sometimes silly musical words. I just try to put together like a Lego. I just try to put together all the influences, all the instrumentations which I have in my head, and that's why we're not considered as symphonic metal band. We're not considered as new metal band. We're not considered. I'm not screaming, etc. So the thing that I've been getting from the critics lately, who are writing about our music, is that Am I God, the music cannot be easily categorized, which is, I think it's a compliment. That's why we consider ourselves as an alternative metal band. I hate to put titles on everything,
but you need to.
I need to.
But that's a good fit, I think, because as you said, the things that you were listening to in the past, and becoming Am I God, and you'll bring that into the whole package, then alternative metal makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Makes sense. You said you went to the conservatorium with the flute.
Yeah.
Did you get room there to experiment with other genres as well, or was that more classical driven?
No. It was a really strict study, so to say. It was a really strict school and a really strict path. So you didn't have a chance to experiment with. There was a cellist guy in a cello. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. And we tried to experiment with writing contemporary music. So there was just one concert of us. I had to turn the flute upside down and just doing some acrobatic things with the instruments, truly. And it sounded really, really cool. But of course, the audience, especially my teachers, didn't really appreciate this effort. So I stopped experimenting with classical music, especially in front of my teachers. I really love my teachers, but that wasn't the school when you could spread your wings as a independent artist, so to say.
It's more stay in line and play
what's in the sheet, piano forte, exactly the way it's in the sheet.
Now I can ask you, did you like it? But on the other hand, it's a learning thing, of course, as well.
Yes. I liked it. It has given me so much as a person as well. That's why I like everything has to be really in structure. I really like to follow the old ways of how to make production professional. So it really helped me a lot. But of course, that was the reason why I chose the darker other path. Like I wanted to express myself more. And when you're a classical musician, your whole life is based around playing classical music and practice 7-8 hours a day, and it's just truly your life.
That's what expected of you as well on that school.
Yeah, that was I had to practice 7-8 hours a day sometimes.
That's a long day. Next to this, to the studies, to the
Yeah,
classes.
yeah.
That's a long time of playing.
Yeah, but
You need
this
it
is
if
the
you want
way.
to be.
This is the way of
Yeah.
classical music.
And when you're on that school and you're playing classical music and you're listening to rock and metal at that point as well, are there some classmates or roommates that are also listening to these kind of music, or is it you are the only one and the rest is all of classical music?
In the flutist group, no, I was the only one. But
Okay.
of course, I was friends with the guitarists.
Of course.
So we always went into a room and just listened to the newest CD of, I don't know, Slipknot or these bands. And I started to learn bass guitar. So I went to the same school, but I had to wear my hoodie on and a hat on because I didn't want my flute teacher to recognize me with my bass guitar on my back because I'm taking bass guitar lessons. So that was an incognito thing.
Oh, wow.
I felt like a Russian spy. So, and until this point, I think she didn't know it. So yeah, I was taking bass guitar lessons and I felt really, really guilty, but I felt really, really cool.
But you played the flute, you played the bass, you sing,
Piano.
piano.
We had to learn piano as well.
Okay. Any other instruments or things you need to?
No, block flute.
Okay.
How do you? Yeah, that's it.
Okay, but that's a lot.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to learn how to play on the harp. That's my next level.
So you play a lot of instrument. You can sing, and you're making "And My God" for the first time, and you combine all the things that you have learned and listened to.
Mm-hmm.
How do you start with writing your own songs? Because normally you read the sheet and play what's onto it.
I don't know. Since I was a child, I've always heard melodies in my head. Sometimes it comes when I'm sleeping. Sometimes when I'm walking. I've always felt a need to write music. I remember when I was 8 years old and I could write the sheet, like the notes on the sheet. I already composed my first sonnet. So that was always a part of me. I got it from my mother, who is a really creative woman. She's an art teacher. So I had to paint, I had to make little statues, jewelry. So she gave me this creative feeling, like the push. You have to do something creative, and it came out for me. The music was the path.
That's great that you're growing up in the family like that with great music and
Mom
creativity.
And Dad.
Because that brings a lot to the table, of course.
Yeah.
When you started with "And My God," did you know what you wanted to make with that, or was that more experience? Whatever comes.
Yeah, I had a plan in my mind. And of course, if you would listen to the first demo, which I made when I was 17 or 18 years old, there's so many mispronounced words, and I couldn't really sing that professionally. But there was truly the true core was already there, which I still have. So when you listen to the first demos, you hear it in the fourth album of me. So I think I've always had this core, this part of me, which is still pure, which is about like I'm writing my own music. So yeah, I had a plan, but of course I had to go through some really big obstacles and some really big struggles. I couldn't find my band members for years, and producers wanted me to sing differently, and I always said no. So I always followed my own path, but of course it came out it's more difficult than taking the more secure way.
You just said that mispronunciations. Mispronunciations. Yep. See, that's always
mispronunciations.
Where did you grow up?
I was growing up in Békéscsaba, a little city in the eastern part of Hungary. It's really close to Transylvania.
And is there any learning in school of teaching English, or is it more?
Yes, our school was pretty good with teaching languages. I had luck I had luck.
So that's where you picked up and learned English.
Yeah, correct.
But then when you making the demos, of course, you hear a little bit more
Oh,
how
of
it works.
course.
I
It's
mean,
horrible.
that's why I never listen to my own podcast, because if I talk English, I know there's a lot of
I know what you mean.
but yeah, that's how
I
it
can't
works.
listen to my first album, some songs even. Oh.
But that's a growing curve, of course.
I
So
know.
that's okay. But you said you heard that on your first demos. What did you do then? Did you get extra classes for it, or what was the? How did you fix that?
To be honest, nobody helped me. I had to figure out these things by myself. The pronunciation, the instrumentation, everything, until the first point when I recorded our first album when I was 23 by Vári Gábor, and he's still our producer. So he was the first professional guidance for me in connection with how to pronounce words, how to write more colorful lyrics, and with the instrumentation to be. He taught me how to be more focused and more professional. So, but until the age of 23, I didn't have any help, so I had to figure out by myself. But yeah, you could hear it on the first demos, like I was just by myself.
And how did you start with the music back then? Because you said you're also writing the music and making it, and hear the own tunes in your head.
Yeah.
But when you want to translate that to recordings, you need to have people around you that are playing it, or you can play some things yourself, of course. But how did you start it back then? Is it finding a band first and
Yes.
go on stage, or was it a band for the recording?
I had my demos, and then I moved up to Budapest, or capital cities, to start my university. And there I found my first members. So for the recordings, I had a band, and of course we played some shows, which, thank God, there is no Facebook back then or anything or YouTube. Otherwise, I would be in trouble right now. But I had a band. I had a band, and my guard. But I've been always writing the songs, and I've been always guiding my band members.
Is that difficult? Because as a pretty young musician at that point, being the lead of a band, your own band.
Yes, it was quite difficult in a way that I didn't know what to do. Like I told you, no one helped me, and sometimes I had struggles with band members. But finally I could set up a nice band in 2015. So by the second album, I kind of had a nice formation.
You learned from the first album recordings, of course.
Yes.
And you said Hungary and Budapest, and you started to record the first album there.
Szeged, yeah.
Yep.
Another city, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But did you also play gigs at that moment, or was it more direct to...
I was playing gigs, and that's why I was referring to no live streams at all. In connection with live gigs, I truly needed improvement. I use a lot of samples. I write a lot of keys, a lot of strings. And when we could perform the first album, where I already had some really cool layers with the atmospheric keys and samples, we didn't have a, how do you call it, sampler.
Okay, yeah.
So it was really raw, and I didn't have my vocals really set up or mixed into the whole sphere of music. So those performances were not that professional, but we already had a Norwegian label for our first record, and we already had, then it was distributed in the UK. So distribution-wise and label-wise, we took the next step to be recognized as an international band back then. But as a live act, we truly had to improve a lot, and that's why it was really good to be on tour and to start touring.
Yeah,
later.
because that would be the link to my next question.
Yeah.
Where did you play in Hungary? Because I have no clue about the scene there. Are there a lot of clubs or
Used to be.
venues?
Yeah, unfortunately, or most amazing venue Dürekert had to shut down during Corona times. Yeah, now I'm living in the Netherlands and I'm just so amazed by how many amazing venues you have compared to Hungary, where we in Budapest has amazing venues like A38, Dürekert, Aquarium Club, and we have some nice venues in other cities as well, but you don't have this much opportunity like you have here in the Netherlands. It's just unbelievable, the difference. So it's really, really hard for a Hungarian band to perform constantly, because you can, if you're a next level band, you can perform maximum 12 or 13 venues. And when you're doing it twice a year, that's all. So in 2 months, you traveled your whole country. It's really, really hard.
And for this kind of music, is that
it was impossible.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
because I know from some countries there's not a lot of places for metal music.
Yes, there are, but I made our path harder in connection with I didn't sing in Hungarian, and back like 10 years ago, it was truly an obstacle. Now it's getting better and better, but like 10, 15 years ago, if you didn't sing in Hungarian, it was truly a struggle to book yourself in the countryside venues in small cities. It was truly a struggle.
But was your idea directly, I go to other countries, because you said signed at a label in Norway?
Yes.
And a UK distribution deal. So direct was we need to go out of Hungary because... It's
that was my unconscious idea. Yes, I wanted to. I wanted to get out.
How did you? That's a really strange question. How did you get a record deal and a distribution deal somewhere else?
It was my full-time job to send out our first album to labels. I sent it out to the moon even. Just hundreds of emails, and then we had a chance to release it under a really, really cool Norwegian label.
Which one was it?
Smash Fabric Records. It doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
But it was cool back then, truly.
Okay. And how did they help you? Because it's also a distance between, of course. Mm-hmm. But how did they help you? Was it with funding, or was it more like helping with contracts or connections or something?
Yes, with that one as well. And I could be represented. So it wasn't Esther and Bauman who is sending out her first album. Finally, a label could do its job, and it truly paid off, because we had some really, really cool releases and articles and reviews. So I was really happy to finally somebody could represent me as an artist.
And did you get a tour from them as well, supporting Slot, for example?
The tours I've been organizing those. So I flew to the UK when we had our distribution contract for the UK for the first album. I flew there and I had some meetings with some promoters and some booking agents, and I found a really cool guy called Nico, and he helped us to get to the UK for 2 weeks in 2015. So with him, I could book our first tour as well.
As a supporting act, or as a
we were the main act. We were touring with a really cool band from Leeds.
Okay, cool. So that's a great kickoff then.
Yes, it was really, really cool.
If you're direct headlining, it's in the UK.
Yes, of course, small clubs, but
yeah. But I love acts will say we came to the UK as a supporting act, and I'll bill from 5-6 names, and we were the first.
Yes,
and you were like, okay, I'll skip the rest, and I'll be on top there.
Yes.
That's a great experience, of course, as a young musician with a new band, as a new act.
Members,
yeah. Now you recorded your 4th album. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of steps in between, but let's skip a little bit, because otherwise this podcast is going to be hours. Mm-hmm. No, it's not, that wouldn't be a problem, but still. What did you learn from the last 3 recordings? What did you want to have make a difference? the easiest question to start with.
Again, it's always the easiest. We improved as a band. I'm more now, or if you would listen to the new album, we are more on a path. So we are like, this is it. This is it. We're not experimenting with everything. Like, this is it. That's the package that you get. Because in the first 2 albums, there were songs that could truly, you would never recognize that it's from the same band. And now it's more like direct. So that's a really cool thing. And of course, as who I'm writing the music, so when I'm sitting down and I'm writing for My Guard, it goes really easier right now. So I know what to do. Sometimes I write songs with full recordings, lyrics and everything within a day or within a few hours. So it goes more smoothly. So, yeah.
And you still write everything yourself, or do the band members also help?
Yes, they help. Of course, I write the songs and I send them over, so they can experiment with the structure. And of course, I'm not a professional guitarist, so it's the guitarist's job to make the riff more heavy and more professional. But yes, I write everything.
Okay. And in what time period did you write this album?
In March.
You started in March?
Yes, it started in March. Yes, exactly. That's why it's called Furia. I just moved here. If you would ask this question in the future, then I let me put it right now. Yes, I moved to the Netherlands 1 year ago. And I just started to enjoy my new life here when the whole corona crisis kicked in. So I was kind of logged into my new home, and I had time to write songs. And what I brought here in the Netherlands is when you're in a new country, you have to truly face your biggest fears, and you just have to face your weakness. So from my past, I carried a lot of things with me, and I had to face them, and they just came out in these months. So I had to write it out from myself. So it went really, really easy. This is not an album, this is LP, but it contains 7 songs. So our label manager told me this can be considered as an album, but I know some people will be disappointed that it's not a full-length album. It's 7 songs, so let's call it an LP. But yeah, it went really, really quickly. So in July we recorded everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 months of writing and the 5th month recording.
Yes.
That's quick for an album.
That's
even if it's just 7 songs.
Yeah,
it's still quick.
Yeah.
But when you start writing, all of the things around you are locking down, and you have to stay at home. So that's easy to write.
Yeah.
Did it affect your writing? Was it more struggle because of everything that was happening, or was this more self-centered and it doesn't matter whatever happens around you?
To be honest, I was enjoying the first month of being a little bit slow. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand.
You work in this business, and you can easily burn out. And after February, March, I was kind of enjoying that I could finally be my introvert version and just lock myself into the apartment and just write and just chill.
Yeah, that's also it can also be a good part, but
back then,
it shouldn't be too long. That's the only thing everyone is.
Yeah, we didn't expect this, that we will be sitting here in almost December talking about the same topic.
Yeah, exactly. But then of course, writing and being at home and playing on the guitar or bass or flute or writing lyrics, that you can do on your apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But when you want to record, you need to go somewhere else, or did you do that at home as well?
I had to go back to Hungary to
that's a whole other step. I didn't expect that one.
Yeah, of course. As I told, we work with the same producer, with the same studio. So I was flying home, and we recorded everything there. But everything was set up. So just
fly in, sing, play, and fly back.
Yeah, kind of. I went to Croatia for a week after that, but yeah, basically yes.
but that gives you the possibility to make it really compact. if you know what you want to do, of course. When you go into the studio, that you don't need to play everything over again with the band or whatever as a rehearsal.
Yes, this is zero number.
Waste.
No, level number. Step number 0. So sorry. Yeah, this is what I learned. It's like there's no such a thing like you're wasting time in the studio or just figuring out what to play there, because no, that's not the way. Or when somebody is like, yeah, I didn't hear myself with the vocals or anything, or let me sing another layer. Does it sound good? No, that's the pre-production. So you go into the studio and you just bang,
record what you want to record, and you before that in the pre-recordings or in the demos you structure it out.
Yes.
So that's really effective.
Yeah.
What did the band members think? Were they like, oh, Anna is back for a week and we recorded together and that's really nice? Or they're like, where were you all those times? And
I don't say that it was easy not to rehearse before the recordings. And of course, for 12 years, I was rehearsing each week, every Tuesday or Thursday. That was the part of my life, to rehearse with my band. And since I moved here and since I kind of stuck here, I couldn't do it. So it was, we had to discuss a lot of things on Skype. And of course, we sent the video messages. They showed me what they did with their guitars and everything. So the communications went smoothly. But no, they were kind of, we are all on the same page. So when it's studio time and everybody has to be prepared. Yeah.
It's really good that you have band members that's forthgoing, that they are in focus with what needs to be done.
Yes.
I hear bands from the Netherlands that can still work together and they still don't. So it's
I'm not telling your relationship is 100% in pink clouds, but in connection with the deadlines and in connection with the thing that has to be done, I'm really strict, and I have to be really strict.
And of course, even with the extra distance you have, of course, and the structure you want to have for the band, of course. You said recorded in July, so mix master in the summer.
Yeah,
and the album was done in September. Then so October maybe.
Yeah, it should have been. It should have been done. The last extra things we could wait that a little bit, because we were supposed to go on tour in the spring, in the Netherlands, in Germany, in Belgium. And our plan was to release the album in September and then come back for an extra round in October and November. But of course, with the whole Corona thing, we had to postpone the album. But I didn't want to release the album next year, because everybody will be releasing. And I know some people might think that I'm committing kind of suicide in connection with the release date. But I'm really glad that we're going to be coming out with some new music this December, because this is the whole summary of this year and the last 1 year as a band and as people, and from my perspective as an artist, I have to put out Furia before this whole mad year will end.
The first single is out right now.
Yes.
So I will put a link in the show notes so people can watch the video clip. It's really nice video clip. It looks amazing.
Yes.
The album is out on the 4th of December.
Yes.
So for where we're sitting right now, it's next week on Friday. But I don't know when you listen, so maybe it's already out. You can directly listen to it. I think you have a pre-save link, isn't it?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so I'll put that in the show notes as well, so people can click on that and pre-order. How do you call it?
Pre-order.
Pre-order it. Even you can buy it, of course, but you can also just go stream it.
Yeah, pre-order and you will receive it before the release date. I'm sure. Yeah, we're gonna post it on next Wednesday.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So links in the show notes for that. But that means that the whole December something needs to happen around the album with interviews and promotion or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or how do you put it up?
Yes, of course, for any opportunity, we are really happy. And or with our label, we are really busy with promoting the album. That's why I'm here. And yeah, of course, I'm not going to make another music video in the near future, that's for sure. But we will come up with some contents, and I really like to talk to the fans through Instagram. I really enjoy doing these Q&A videos on Facebook. And I know Norby, our drummer, is preparing with some amazing footage of the drum recordings. Truly, that guy did an amazing job on the album. And yeah, if anything will come out, I will be really proud of it. I'm really happy about it. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm creative with another thing. So for January, February, my life will be full with music, but not with Emmaguard.
Emmaguard will be released next week, and you will let it go for a while and go into something else?
You know, honestly, yes, I would feel. Yeah. Right now, after 13 years, yes, I feel just a little bit, just let it out. It's really good. It's really professional. It can take the production to the next level. But right now, as an artist and as a person, I need something new, which I've already started, and it's beautiful.
Let's come to that in a little bit, because for now, you said you postponed the tour that should be in spring, should be in autumn.
Yes, should have been. We would have played in Baruch this weekend.
Yeah, that hurts. Yeah. So that should be right now.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact, because their stickers are still in sale for the April show in Volt.
Yeah.
We moved everything from around now to April.
April and May. Yeah.
So the album will release now.
Yeah.
The live music, when possible, will be in April.
Yes.
So you have to come back again.
Well,
because now you let go into the other phase of music.
Yes.
But then you have to come back to do the tours.
Yes. Yes.
Are there still any other plans? Because the tour was a little bit bigger than one part, of course.
Yes, had other plans, of course. Would have been really, really nice, but in connection with live shows, we cannot plan anything. We had a really cool invitation to Hungary's biggest rock festival, and we should have played on a Saturday, 8 o'clock. So
that's a great slot, of course. Yeah,
that's the most amazing, and yeah, we really hope that we can do it.
But would it be come to mind that it would be possible that you have to play this album in 2 years from now?
Oh, sure.
So that would be good.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Oh, of course.
So it's not that you now drop it, everyone can play it, maybe enjoy it in April, maybe can enjoy it in autumn, and then you move into the next one.
Oh, no. This album is truly, it's really, really, it's in one. I don't know how to say it in English, but it can be reliable, or how do you say it? So it's gonna be the thing from 1 year on, 2 years on. It's gonna be us. So we're not rushing to write another album. It's gonna be representing us for years, because it's truly professional.
Okay, great. Let's slide into the new project.
Okay.
Just for everyone that has been following Volt, where I work, you might know that we have recorded 12 songs in the last week, and released it all this week, past week. But there was one song from a band that never performed before, at least not on that title, and it was a little bit of a sneak peek because it haven't been online before. It was just the first recording that has been put out.
Yeah, true.
And that was Light by the Sea.
Yeah.
Something new, something fresh, something 2021.
So hashtag 2021. Yeah. yeah.
Tell the people about it. What is it? Where does it come from?
It's truly a project. It won't be a band. It's a project of me and David Knobel. And we didn't want to make a band together. It wasn't our effort. We just wanted to play music together because we were stuck in a quarantine. So he just started to write music, and I was like, yeah, I'm busy with Emmaguard. It's going to be cool. Yeah, what kind of project are you writing it for? Oh, cool, nice. And I had my first melodies for his first song or second song he recorded. And I was like, yeah, we have to do something with it, you know? We just want to have some fun. We don't take it really serious. Let's record it. And of course, I recorded the first 1 or 2 songs. And I truly felt myself in it, 100%. And I was like so thankful to him because I told him, yeah, this is a part of me. This is a side of me, which with MI wouldn't really fit right now with this instrumentation and everything. So I want to show it to the world. So that's how it started. And during these months, we wrote almost 2 albums.
2 albums?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be a great release, isn't it?
No, we're going to be recording 1.
Okay.
Of course.
Why not a double? Just make it a double.
Oh, of course.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, one money.
No, but we heard the first song. I will link that in the show notes below as well, so people can listen to it. It was a session recording, really intimate, really small. Is that also the setting you want to?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And that's the point I'm really happy to mention. It's going to be a big production with a lot of instruments on stage: piano, trumpet, harp, 3 guitars, tambourine, drums, tom. How do you say that?
Who's playing all those instruments?
Oh, we are surrounded by musicians.
Okay,
we book them and we play with them. Okay. So there's like fishing in a really rich lake full of juicy fish.
Juicy musicians.
Yeah, juicy musicians.
But it will become a band setting. So with
for
a drummer
live,
and
yes, for live, yes, but the 2 of us is Lie by the Sea.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll be working with this kind of session musicians. That's the plan.
And what kind of music will it be? Because people, when they listen to this song that's online, will hear something different than it's gonna be in the future. So what's the genre where they can expect you're going?
We first titled it as art rock, but we came out with the idea that art rock is not like this, but I would put it in a really artistic rock. So the lyrics are really structured. It's really about poetry, about literature figures, about historical figures. So I put a lot of effort into writing my lyrics and do a research on the people that I'm writing about. And instrumentally, it's a kind of mixture of indie, but it's more heavy. Our biggest inspirations are Fleetwood Mac. I'm a really big Chelsea Wolf fan. Of course, Lana Del Rey, Phil Collins. Of course, I'm the biggest fan. We are the biggest fan of Phil. Anyways, so it's kind of a mixture of dark indie rock.
Something
right?
like that.
Something with some folk elements.
Okay, that's a really nice
but
mixture.
That also starts as really good because you cannot put some. It's I can't.
You know, it's difficult for the bookers to book you then.
Yes, that's why we're digging our grave right now.
Sorry for that. No, it sounded really nice because we were recording it back then in the vault, and all the people that were there helping to make this happen, they were like, what happened here? That was amazing.
Thank you.
They were blown away by your voice, not only by the Emma song, but also by The Light by the Sea. And it's something new that you don't hear often on stage, and especially if you're gonna add more live musicians to it and more instruments to it, then it can go a lot of ways, but still be in one package.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm really curious about how that will fold out.
We are really busy with it. We truly like every single free moment which we're not working. It's our focus is on this project, and I'm really busy with the pre-production. We're gonna record the first 3 songs in January, shoot a music video in February. We will come out with our first kind of EP in the spring and a full album in next autumn. So it's truly a little big work, but I know it will pay off us.
Is this the first? Because I didn't hear you say anything about any other band. You started with And My Guard. It's now 13 years.
13 years
later. Is this the first other bands
yes.
that you start?
Yes.
So never joined another band?
Never.
or-
I was so devoted towards my garden. I always told everyone, no, I'm not even collaborating in anything because
No, just playing the flute on a metal album, but that's it.
Yeah,
But,
the Viva di Metavision, of course. That's not a thing that
that's
you would
that's
say no.
No, that's just a project, but that's not
But
joining a
another
band.
band, no, never. And as I told you back in spring, I was like, no, I'm not going to do anything with anyone else. But then when I heard the first songs, I was like, yes, it's a sign. It's a sign. It's so refreshing, and it gives me so much as an artist and as a person, everything. So it just truly lit my fire again. I feel like 18 years old again. Truly.
That's good. That's good. So people can hear that from 2021 on. Listen to a sneak preview in the link below, of course. And we recorded 2 songs today, but those are "And My God"
those
songs.
are My God songs.
They will be released on a later date whenever Bram is ready and I'm ready with the video, and we all agree that's good. So that will take a while. Maybe later in December somewhere we can still release it, and otherwise beginning of January. So something like that. That's almost December, people.
Yeah,
It's just 1 week away.
Well, Sinterklaas here.
Oh, I don't skip that. That's not my party. On the other hand, as we mentioned in the beginning, you're not only a musician but also a booker. So your work at this moment is renewing contracts for later dates, isn't it? Or
what I've been currently doing is postponing
Postponing
shows. That's my job. I'm a postponer. I'm a full-time postponer. No. I'm booking amazing artists. Just to name a few: Christopher Gildenlow. I'm proudly booking him. Kingfisher Sky with IDV. IDV is our agency with David Milbaum. We're booking Mother's Cake, Dirty Sound Magnets. So amazing international acts. And what I'm trying to do is to help them to play these amazing venues that you have here in the Netherlands. And yes, I'm really optimistic in connection with next year. I really hope that everything will come together by next autumn, winter, so everything will be fine again. So I'm really positive about it. About next spring, I don't know, but next autumn, yes. But what we are currently doing also is giving album promotion, single promotion. So we try to help the bands to get featured in media platforms.
so it's a little bit extra to the bands that are already struggling, of course, not only with bookings but also
help them to give them a voice during these dark times.
and beyond, of course, when it's all happy again. Do you also focus on Hungarian bands then? Because that's your past, of course, that's where you've been living for years.
Yes.
And grew up. Do you also try to have a connection with that and get bands from there to the Netherlands or the other way around?
Yeah, definitely. This is my mission to help amazing Hungarian bands to come over here. I'm working with Platon Karatev. They're one of the biggest alternative bands in Hungary. And I try to help for many bands as possible who I think would fit and who would do a professional job here in the Netherlands and here in the Western European market. So I'm really selective now, because now I see from this side, so I see from the west to the east, because in Hungary, like, many bands are really, really popular and artists like, yeah, he is going to be the next thing or she's going to be the next thing. But I'm here right now and I just see they're just they're just one of the 1,000, you know. And now I truly see the unique artists and the unique bands who have to be here to be heard. But that's okay, because this is my mission, and I'm really happy to help these bands out.
And what is the cultural difference between the Netherlands and Hungary then?
At first of all, the language still. It's, as I told you, it's easier now to sing English, but our top 10 out of 10 10 metal bands, 1 is singing in English.
Okay.
The other 9 is just Hungarian.
That's here there are almost non-Dutch artists, the Dutch singing metal bands. There are some, not many,
but not many,
no.
not many. And of course, these bands try, like, they release one song in Hungarian and the same song in English. But then, then what do you want? Do you want to get on an international market? Then you have to focus on just the English text and just this audience. You truly cannot do both. Now I know you truly cannot do both. You have to kind of choose.
Yeah, there are some folk singers here in Holland who try to sing German as well, so they can be abroad and have a bigger audience. Some join other German bands, so they become bigger and they have multiple artists in it. So they're just making a bigger force for that. But yeah, I can understand it's difficult if you want to bring over a Hungarian band who sings in their own language to the Netherlands. But for me, it feels that the Netherlands is pretty open to other languages. Even if you don't understand it, they allow it to be on stage.
Yeah. We're trying to help for a artist who has Turkish roots, and his band is called Tündérvese. And his band would be a perfect match, for instance, with Altingen. So you
have them this week at Volt.
Yeah, I saw the poster. So cool.
We're really happy about it.
Yes, you have this Turkish. They're singing in Turkish as well. So this is beautiful. But yeah, that's you have this market here, but you cannot bring a Hungarian band here because they would sing for just local Hungarians. Or if it's a really unique Hungarian folk music. But folk music is different. It's a different genre. It's a different market. So I'm talking about metal bands. You know, yeah, it's difficult. You have to know who is your audience, and you have to sing for them.
That's a really nice job to do, to get more Hungarian bands here or Dutch bands over to Hungary.
Yes. I try to do these exchange tours.
That's great.
Yep.
I think that's. A lot of people want to do that, but they don't because if you're a band and you have to put it up yourself, it's really difficult because you don't have the connections. But if someone like you can make things happen for bands, then it works and it has upside for everyone.
Yeah.
Shall we close? Shall we end this here, or do you have something that you still want to talk about? Because we talked about Emmergard, about Light by the Sea, and about your bookings agency and what's coming up in the near next future.
You know, I'm really happy to talk. Finally, I'm not talking to the wall and to my cat.
No, you're talking to me right now, and I'm not a cat. I hope. No, indeed, I really like to be here. This is the second time that I've been in this room. And it's
in
really,
the room, Kaatsheuvel.
Yeah. So, for the people that want to know more about you, I will put the links in the show notes. I will link Facebook and Instagram, and they can chat with you as well when there is a Q&A session about the album or whenever.
I can't wait.
So follow that. And for everyone that was listening to this podcast, in the beginning, the videos will be online on a later date, and when you listen to this back on a later date, maybe they are online, but you can check them out. Links are below in the show notes as well to the regular place, so you can check it out if there's something new, because there are still 7 tracks that should be released plus these, so there are 10 tracks waiting on the shelf for it. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. That's no problem. So I want to thank you for your time and for the recording and for the fact that we can be here, and then we can turn off those lights, so at least I can see a little bit more again. Damn lights. No, thank you very much, and we will email each other because we still have some gigs that we have to prepare. Postpone. No, let's just do it. Let's just do the gigs as soon as possible because we want to have shows.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. See you soon. And for everyone that listening, and it's 4th of December, go check the album. It's in stores now, but you can just buy it on bol.com and Amazon and other stuff, or just listen to it on iTunes or Spotify, but the link is below.
Yeah. Thank you
Okay.
so much for this opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And for listeners, I'll see you in the next SharQ Talk. Bye.